Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Black and Healthy podcast. I am so excited on this new episode. I am Jasmine Gillum, the owner and the host of the Black and Healthy podcast. Thank you for being here today. The purpose of Black and Healthy is to support majority Black owned businesses that focus on health and wellness in the upstate. However, this podcast is to reach the world with health and wellness professionals through dialogue. So, welcome again. And if you would like to support the Black and Healthy podcast, make sure that you email me at blackandhealthy@gmail.com. That's BLKN as in Nancy, healthy@gmail.com. Make sure that you subscribe to our podcast, subscribe to our YouTube channel, go to the Black and Healthy website, which is www.blackandhealthy.com, and make sure that you also connect with us on Facebook and Instagram. Today, we are going to be talking about physical health. And I'm excited to have our guest with us, Rebecca.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Please introduce yourself. Let the people know who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
Okay. Well, my name is Rebecca Brown Shippy. I am a mother of 3. I am a registered respiratory therapist. I have a fitness company, Joannercize Fitness, and I am also a director of a community center for seniors, Joanne Safe Haven.
Yes. So I'm going to put you on blast right quick.
Okay.
Rebecca just had a birthday.
I did.
Do you want to tell the people how old you are?
Yes, hunty. I am 50 years old.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. And she looks real good, y'all.
Thank you.
Take a note from her book, please.
Thank you.
So tell me how you got into doing the work that you do.
Okay. How I got into doing the work that I do. I have always said that I would never go into business. I've always worked in healthcare. Been working in healthcare now 23 years. Mm-hmm. My sister Joanne, she was a nurse, and she talked me into going back to school for I thought nursing, but for respiratory. Mm-hmm. So I've been working in respiratory for a while. Well, when COVID first started, the hospital where I was working decided to close its doors. And that left me, along with all of its employees, laid off. And we were laid off for about 4 months. Yeah. But during that time, I was able to do a lot of work in the community. One being just walking, just out walking on the trails, the Mary Black Rail Trail, one that my sister and I enjoyed daily. Yeah. And so I would walk past, walk the trails, and I would see like all of the renovations that had been, occurring on that Mary Black Rail Trail. One being the addition of the fitness pads. Mm-hmm. And I would walk past those fitness pads, and I would notice that no one was ever working out on the pads. Right. Brand new fitness equipment, mm-hmm. a yoga mat, a yoga mat, and everything out there. Yeah. And so there were signs posted along the trail that pointed toward the city of Spartanburg, who managed the trail or whatever. So I called around different people at the city of Spartanburg, who finally got me in contact with Laura. Mm-hmm. And Laura, I told her my ideas, and she asked me was I certified to teach the classes, and I'm like, Mm-hmm. So I obtained some certifications to teach. Mm-hmm. I'm certified to teach HIIT, high intensity interval training, mm-hmm. Boot camp, group fitness classes. Just recently, I'm certified to teach Silver Sneakers chair fitness for seniors. Yeah. So I credit my start to Laura, because I had no idea. I thought I could just go out there and just work out and teach some classes, but she was like, "Okay, no, Rebecca, you gotta be certified." So Yeah, so I'm now certified to teach all of these different fitness classes.
Yeah, shout out to Laura Ringo.
Yes,
If you know who she is, you know who she is, and
yeah.
if you don't, one day you will find out.
Yeah.
But yeah, Laura was like, "We're not gonna have nobody out here in no liability on this trail."
Exactly.
You need to be certified before we do any movement out here. Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's exciting. So, out of all the things that you do, what is your favorite part about what you do?
I guess the most favorite part is just the satisfaction in knowing that I actually helped someone. Like I said, I've worked in healthcare my entire life, and just seeing like so many young people come in the hospital with on lists and lists of medications. And knowing that, it's something that you can actually do to prevent this from happening. Like people in their 20s, come in having heart attacks and stroke. And some, it's just, I'm like, it's something that I need to be doing more than just pushing medications in these young people, these kids, because when I see someone that age, I immediately think about my kids. This could be my child laying here, and so I'm like, I have to do something more than just pushing medications. I have to show them that there's something else. And so, that's my passion in knowing that I'm actually helping somebody.
So in that, from all the different ranges of people that you have seen, what are the common how should I term that? Like, what's the common cause of why they are in the hospital that you've seen the most?
Because I am a respiratory therapist and we specialize in heart and lung, the majority of my patients are obese. Very, very obese. And and I can remember one time, I had a brand new patient that came in. He was not even in his 30s yet. Very, very obese. I mean, to the point to where, he had a slew of health problems. I mean, from heart to lung to then to like different neuromuscular problems. I mean, it was a slew of problems. I mean, he wasn't even 30 years old. And I'm thinking to myself, this is just out of hand. And it's all because of what you eat. Like what you eat in your exercise regimen. I mean, what you do daily. This stuff can be avoided, but we have to educate. You have to, to let them know, okay, it's another way. It's another way. You don't have to be disabled at 30 years old.
Correct. And you shouldn't be.
Unless,
obviously, you were born and you had an issue, or life just happens. But if it's in your control, then you don't have to be. And by no way of means, by the way, I am not a doctor. But to put that out there, but I would say, like, I wonder the root causes, right? Like, there's been so many changes that have happened over the decades, of course. So I'm 32. And for me, it's very important for me to maintain my health. Do I eat the best? Absolutely not. But one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be active. And I can feel the difference when I'm not active. Like, and I'll give an example, like just laying in bed for weeks does not help me. Like, there's a difference between your body needing rest, but I will also say that your body also needs to be able to move so that, one, it can release all the things that you don't realize that you're holding in your body. And how you do that is like through sweating, through stretching. All these things are very helpful. Is it uncomfortable? Absolutely. But is it worth it? Absolutely. Like, I know for sure, like, you can go work out and you're like, man, I do not feel like doing this today.
Yep. But then you feel
right at the end of it, you're like, man,
I'm so glad I did this.
I'm so glad I did it. I'm gonna sleep good tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And then you do. And people have those issues too of sleeping properly. But yeah, going back to like you're saying a 30-year-old, 20-year-olds, I would say I am a millennial. At growing up as a millennial is being outside all the time. Like that was a thing. I always looked forward to going outside. Like I was that one kid that hated being inside for a long time. And the time that you say we can go outside, like I was ready, like running. And I think that makes a difference. Like I even remember when video games were starting to grow as well through the late 90s and early 2000s. And I think that created a shift. Not even just that, but I just think the safety of our country also changed because you also had like 9/11 and of course the internet was coming about, so people had more access to people in general, just to know what was out there. I talked about this on another podcast. Like I was on like AIM, and so you were able to chat virtually with people you never knew, or that you couldn't see their face or you couldn't hear their voice. And so, but still, I still had a balance though of being inside versus going outside. And even in my extracurricular activities growing up, like I was a Girl Scout and I danced. I was in marching band, like all these different things. When I tell you that stuff was challenging, like I think back and I'm like, how did I do that?
Right.
How did I do that for so long? One part is like I had to, for one, because my mama was not gonna let me quit. And so it's like you gotta push through it. And if you don't do it, then you're gonna get fussed at, right? So there's like a part of me that's grateful for that. Because I feel like it disciplined me in certain aspects of like working out to be disciplined and understand the importance on the other side of this is what I'm trying to get to. So in order for me to get to that, I have to go through these steps to do it versus relying on or thinking about or focusing on like this is really hard. You know what I mean? Like instead of thinking, oh, this is really hard, it's like, okay, let me challenge myself to do 5 reps. Oh, okay, I did 5. All right, let's see if you can do 2 more.
Right.
Okay, let me try 10 then. And also like encouraging myself, like let's go, Jasmine. Like you can do this. Get it. Like that's how I am personally. And so I can understand too that it's just a different world for people.
It is.
People are always looking for something to comfort them.
Yeah, and the easy way out.
Yeah, the easy way out to get anxiety down, the levels of anxiety down with all this stuff that's going on in the world. When I'm not even going to ask, I was about to say when COVID took place, how was that? I already know. But I think what to think about is when COVID started to decrease, what changes or if any changes did you notice within people in your field?
Because Joannercize, we exercise outside. I didn't really see a big change because we're outside, and you know, with COVID's airborne, and it's people contract that by being in closed spaces. So I think I didn't really notice anything within my business, but I noticed that a lot of gyms, people had gym phobia. Didn't want to go inside of a gym because of the COVID scare and stuff like that. But I didn't really see much of a change when it came to Joannercize Fitness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was definitely one of those people that stopped going to the gym. But for my reason was because my parents were older than 65. So I was
Didn't want to take it
like,
home.
I could not risk that.
Mhm.
When it comes to the rent,
Yeah.
I don't play.
Yeah.
Being very like aware, like
Mhm.
it's not just me. Like
Yeah.
this is not just gonna affect me. It's gonna
Mhm.
affect my parents.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was very precautious, but I was also very anxious.
Mhm.
All in the same.
Mhm.
Like my mom, like she's such a like touchy, like hands-on person. You know, like she sees somebody, she wants to hug them, and I'm like, you know, we're going inside somewhere. She's touching the door, and I'm like, "What are you doing?
Yeah.
Stop touching the door with your hand!" Like, and so there were a lot of adjustments when it came to that. But yeah, even with me not working out at the gym, like I was working out at home. And at a point in time, like I was doing this other before I started Black and Healthy, I was doing Black Girl Energy. Which the point of that was just to encourage people to move. No restrictions, meaning like you didn't have to do exactly what I was doing, like movement wise, as long as you're moving and you are releasing serotonin and all these other chemicals and you're just moving. That was my goal. Was just like, I know you in the house. Just move for a few minutes with me. Or even if people got a joy out of just watching me. Because I'm pretty sure I was entertaining. The people's closest to me could tell you. And sometimes I consider doing it again, but that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, I could definitely say, so when you were part of Black and Healthy in October of last year, I took your class and it was definitely a workout. I was trying to be big tough with those little weights, thinking I could handle it, which I did. I wasn't gonna break no sweat. Y'all were not gonna see me struggling out there. But after a while, I was like, this is a little tough.
It's definitely a workout. It is. But going back to what you said about the COVID, because I am a respiratory therapist, and COVID affects the lungs. I'm seeing a lot of patients who come back with like COVID lung, the scarring. And it's like a lasting effect. People, I mean, because COVID was so new, people were like, they don't know what the long-term effects are going to be. But we're seeing it now. We're seeing patients who come back. They're more prone to develop infections like pneumonia and different, and they easily to get sick. And a lot of the patients who contracted COVID, I would say over 90% of them had vitamin D deficiency, meaning that vitamin D comes from sunlight. And it goes back to what you said about when you were smaller, you were made to go outside and play and stuff like that. Patients who have the vitamin D deficiency, they don't get a lot of sunlight. So they're stuck in the house and they just in the house and not really outside doing different things outside. And that made them more prone to get COVID, to contract COVID because of that vitamin D deficiency. So you need to be active outside in the sunlight, soaking up that sunlight because vitamin D is a very valuable nutrient that we all need in our body, especially us being Black people.
So two things, which it kind of gave me like, I have these moments where I feel like sometimes like God is like, like it's like a confirmation. Two things. So one, I contracted COVID right before Black and Healthy October. Funny enough, it was like a month before. I still had this lingering cough for the longest. I kid you not. The day of Black and Healthy, I was running around. And then it finally hit me. I was like, I haven't coughed today.
Wow. Because you was outside.
I was outside. I was like, I had not coughed. Like my coughing ended the day of Black and Healthy last year in October.
Yeah.
And also with Black and Healthy, so I have Black and Healthy for those of you that have never been to a Black and Healthy event. One day, hopefully, you can make it. It's intentionally outside. I take the risk of having it outside, but the point of having it outside is because I feel or I think that in our community there are just so many events that are inside.
Right.
And I also believe that within the Black community specifically is that we're inside all the time. And so I wanted to create an environment where one, you're outside, obviously, but then I also was just thinking about like the kids.
Yeah.
Like them being able to run around freely.
Yeah.
And like if they fall, cool, get back up.
Right.
Like you're in grass. There's been plenty opportunities or things that I've considered of like the locations of having Black and Healthy, like where there's like asphalt and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's hot.
Yeah.
And I was like, when you have asphalt or cement that's just that absorbs heat and it's just coming up, it's not a good feeling. But when you're like in the grass and you got the wind blowing, the sun is out, you got trees around you, like you can be in the shade. That is like the intention that I have for Black and Healthy. With anything that I do, every Black and Healthy that I've had up until this point has been outside in some type of park. And there's an intention behind that. I think that's very important. So it's great that you said that.
I mean, it's the truth. It's the truth. I mean, were all vitamin D deficient.
Wow. Yeah, so with the lungs part, like I remember I had a friend that one time because I did have the coughing like pretty bad, and he was like, "Yeah, you need to go in and get checked to see if you have any scarring and stuff like that." And all that hoot.
Patients with COVID looks a lot like they are a lot older than what they present.
Wow.
Yeah, their lungs have a lot of scarring. Yeah.
Well, so. Yeah, that's intense. But I think even now we also have the situation with younger people, which is funny how this conversation is turning into this, which is like, this is just happening. But just like with you mentioning younger people coming in, vaping.
Yes. I tell my patients all the time.
Yeah.
I do not push smoking at all. I mean, I'm a respiratory therapist. I actually educate against it. But I say I would prefer you smoke a cigarette versus the vape.
Yeah.
Because vaping, you are burning your lung lining. You're burning it. Yeah, and I can't stress it enough. Do not vape. Do not vape. Because you are burning your lung lining. And that's probably worse than COVID.
So let me ask you this. Vaping, like I have read that vaping is worse than smoking a cigarette. Which I remember even growing up, like, there's always these ads about, especially for my generation, like, encouraging us not to smoke cigarettes and all this. And now it's like, oh, we can't get you there no more. We're going to get you at vaping. I'm not a vapor. But do I go to a hookah lounge occasionally? Yes, I do. I'm going to tell myself, have I smoked a cigar before? Yes, I have. But I don't overindulge because I'm like, one, I cannot do this all the time. Absolutely not. And two, I like to run. Like I like cardio.
Yeah.
And I do cardio intentionally for endurance. To have endurance. Like I just always think of these scenarios or just like if one day I gotta run a 5K, I wanna be ready. Like so I intentionally run for those purposes. Yeah, I just think it's interesting, again, in today's society, how, I mean, businesses are always going to find a way to sway the younger crowd to do things. But I just think about, like, man, like vaping and even the energy drinks that we have out here today as well. I've seen videos on, like, if they do, like, a drug test. on energy drinks, and the content from those energy drinks will read certain levels within a drug test. And I'm like,
Crazy.
goodness.
Crazy.
I remember when Red Bull came out. I was like, this is so cool. Look at the cartoon flying. It gives you wings. Like,
yeah, you get some wings, all right.
I remember that. But the thing about my body, this is very important that I believe is being aware. Like, your body's going to tell you. It is going to tell your body, you. Yeah. So have I tried? I did Red Bull before. I was like, this is a weird taste. It's not for me or whatever. I've tried the, 5 Energy? I remember trying that in college. Literally did not drink the whole thing. Because that kind of stuff, I'm like, I know this not good for you, but I'm going to try it. I think I took a very small amount. I was so panicky and jittery and like looking over my shoulder. And I was like, that's not it. Yeah. That's not it for me. Yeah. Does your body adjust the more that you give it? Like, do you get something? Yeah, it does. Yeah. But on that first go round, it's gonna tell you. Like,
yeah. That's the reason why I don't do any caffeine.
Yeah.
I don't, because it definitely increases anxiety.
Yeah.
And it makes my heart race so bad. It's like I'm on my way to the emergency room.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't do caffeine at all.
Yeah. If I have caffeine, it is in like an herbal tea. Or occasionally I will have a soda. Occasionally. Majority of the time, I drink nothing but water. Yeah. And juice here and there. But water is like my main source. And we've had that talk too about water from a recent episode. But yeah, like that in itself, you can feel the difference. It depends on like how much you work out and what you eat, that your body will respond to tell you like this is not the place.
Yeah. Your body will tell you.
We don't accept that here. And that kind of makes me, or I want to ask you, so for people who are wanting to make a change, right? Where would you encourage them to start when it comes to, especially with winter coming around, right? Winter takes a mental toll, an emotional toll, spiritual toll on a lot of people, because it reminds you of family and or just things that may have happened before for them, or even just with the time change that makes a change for people as well. What would you encourage for people to begin with in the winter months on starting out with a workout or a physical activity? Like you mentioned, going outside and like getting some of the sun. What would you encourage them to start with?
I would definitely encourage, I love buddying up.
Okay.
Accountability partners.
Yeah.
Anytime you have two like-minded people in the same room, something's bound to happen. So I definitely encourage accountability, buddying up with someone, and walking. Walking is my go-to because I am a respiratory therapist. Heart health is heart health is the most important type of health that you can do for your body, because if your heart's not working, no other organ in your body is going to work. Everything feeds off of your heart. So you have to take care of your heart. And the number one the number one way to take care of your heart is heart health, walking, cardio, and walk at a pace that's going to increase your heart rate. Because the faster that heart beats, the stronger that heart muscle gets. Yeah. And the more calories you burn. And you see, and I know you see a change when you walk and walk daily. Yeah. And right now it's fall. The trees are starting to turn. It's beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful different autumn colors. And just that atmosphere alone makes you want to get out there every day and just enjoy nature.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely encourage. I really push partnering up with someone,
Yeah.
and just walking. Yeah, and walking's free.
It sure is. So you said every day, but for a beginner, how many times a week would you suggest for them to walk? One, you already work. You walk wherever you go.
You do.
So you've already started.
Yeah.
You already doing it. It's just the difference is being more intentional.
Yeah.
About your cardio and walking.
Yeah. Well, starting out, me, because I am a fitness instructor. Yeah, it's probably not a very good question for me, but I meant at least 5 days a week. Even at work.
Yeah.
Even at work, like I have a lady and I work third shift.
Yeah.
At the hospital, 2 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
She sits at her desk for 12 hours, but she intentionally get up and walk around the hospital. Just walk around the hospital and take the stairs instead of taking the elevator. Take the stairs whenever possible, just to get that heart health in.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, I would definitely suggest at least 5 days. Most people take off on Sundays. Mm-hmm. Most people do not exercise on Sundays for a variety of reasons.
Yeah.
And then they tend to want to miss that Monday too. But me, 2 days in a row, I don't suggest.
Look,
I do not suggest taking 2 days off.
Let me go ahead and tell them myself for the people out there. I am one of those people that will take a Monday off. I'm not gonna lie. Actually, but I actually went to the gym on Monday this week. I was like, I can go today. I'm gonna go. Because I have been missing it, and I'm working on getting back into my routine of going to work out. So yeah, to let people know, like, one, don't be discouraged. Like, though Rebecca said 5 days, again, a reminder is you're already walking. If you don't have an Apple Watch, I'm not one of those people that have an Apple Watch, but if you have like any type of tracker, a lot of times there is one on your phone. If you like want to see the actual steps that you walk per day, you can look at that on your phone, or you can turn the setting on your phone. To see how many steps that you walk. Yep. And in that, I think you can like set a goal for how many steps that you want to complete, and start with that and reward yourself. Every small thing matters when it comes to making a change. And when I say that, I mean celebrate the small. They're all wins. Celebrate the small milestones and celebrate the medium, celebrate the big ones. The point of it is to get you started, for one, not only to get started, but to also be disciplined, which going into that, what would you think out of being disciplined to work out and to be consistent is challenging? Has it ever been challenging for you on your journey? And if so, what was the most challenging part? Yeah,
it is. I mean, it is. For me, most times, for me, it is finding the time.
Yes.
Finding the time to actually get out and work out.
Yeah.
But it's funny that you mentioned the Apple Watch. I love Apple Watch because my accountability partner is in Atlanta.
Oh, wow.
We both have Apple Watch, and we challenge each other.
Ooh.
So that makes it fun. And then Apple, I love Apple. They actually remind you.
Yeah.
Check your little circles on there that tell you you're not doing, and it says it, Rebecca, you're not reaching your goal right now.
Yeah.
Like, what's up? Yeah. So I love that about Apple Watch because it does remind you. Yeah, get up. And it tells you to get up, stand up, and and stuff like that. So I definitely shout them out for that.
Yeah.
But you're able to, have an accountability partner to do challenges with, like fun challenges. And we do challenges too with in Joannercize Fitness. We have, like right now, we have the 14-day no carb challenge.
I love a carb.
Which is kind of interesting. But you have to make fitness fun.
Yeah,
you have to make it fun. Do different things because exercising, it shouldn't be work.
Correct.
It shouldn't feel like work, because if it feels like work, nobody wants to do it.
Right.
So you have to make it fun, and that's the reason why I teach dance fitness, because dancing is fun.
Oh yes, that's what
It's
I
fun.
do.
So yeah.
Yeah, when I'm
and
at
you
that
burn
gym,
a lot of calories by dancing.
Say what? Look, let me tell you something. When I'm at that gym, when I'm on the Stairmaster, I know people been like,
yes,
what setting does she have her Stairmaster on? Because she's doing all these things.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's me. I have my Stairmaster to one level, like one speed. And the music that I'm listening to, I'm creating rhythms. And I'm like dancing on the Stairmaster.
Yeah.
So I'm like doing double work on the Stairmaster. And I have to build my endurance back up for that. But I would do 20 minutes. Just my music alone, like literally carries me on that Stairmaster. Because before I did not like that Stairmaster. Oh my gosh. I was like, who likes this?
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah.
But I also, again, I am attached to the other side of the result that I will get out of doing it. And that makes me become more disciplined, because it's like, I'm not going to let this defeat me.
Right.
Just because I don't like it.
Right.
Like, I'm like, I don't like it. I'm going to like it.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I'm going to make myself like it. And so that's what's challenging for me. Like, that's how I challenge myself. So I think that's cool. Like you're saying, like you and your friend, like y'all challenge each other. What's the most challenging thing that y'all have done for, like, that y'all have competed? Like, was it for like a long period of time? One challenge that y'all did?
Some of ours are, but all of ours are incentive driven. Like, you're gonna win a prize. If you do this, you're gonna win a cool prize.
What's the best prize you've had?
We do like gift cards.
Yeah.
We do T-shirts, workout gear, things like that. Something fitness related.
Yeah. I love it. Oh, that's another thing. I'm so glad you mentioned that workout gear. I love some workout gear. One thing you're gonna see Jasmine Gillum is in a cute outfit. That motivates me. I was just talking with somebody at the gym, and she was like, she was asking me about cardio or whatever, but then we also, like, I noticed she was wearing color, which she typically wears all black. And so she was just sharing her reasons for why she did so and everything. And then just kind of got into the conversation of like me, because like I'm gonna show some skin, like I'm gonna show my stomach, I'm gonna show my thighs. You don't see it. I'm young out here, so I'm gonna celebrate it, and I'm gonna celebrate it when I'm 52 and when I'm 60, 70, and 80. So y'all get ready. But we were just talking about that, and I was like, it's me dressing up is not necessarily like to impress everybody. It's more so that it gives me more confidence. That I'm showing up in the way that I see myself, one, in my head, and two, I was like, not saying that it's a bad thing to cover up, because it's absolutely not. You can be confident and still be covered up. You can be the baddest person in that gym and still be covered up. But I was just like, when I was like just wearing your basic workout clothes, right? I was just like, I felt like it was dimming my light. Like I wasn't really expressing my personality and who I am, which is like, I can be vibrant. You know what I'm saying? Like that's in my repertoire of Jasmine Gillum. And so it's just like, when I'm in the gym and I'm like, this is like my playground. This is my adult playground. I want to show up in a way that my inner happiness can like come out. And that's not just like working out, but it's also in what I'm wearing. So yeah, I get great joy out of my outfits, honey. It costs, but it's an investment. That's how I personally view it as well. There are a few things that I will invest in, and like my workout gear is one of those things.
And not shoes.
Yeah. Very important.
Yeah. People ask me all the time, Miss Rebecca, you recognize that? Yeah.
Absolutely.
I do, because they feel good. Yeah. They do.
And that's very important. Like you say, like working out, you have to enjoy it. Well, you get to the level of enjoying it. For the people who have that started, you get to a level of enjoying it.
You really do. And then seeing your body transform.
Yes.
Yeah, you actually, see yourself changing.
Yeah.
That's that's encouraging enough to know that I actually done that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it wasn't. I didn't have to have a surgery.
Right.
To have this done. I actually done this because of diet and exercise.
Right.
It works.
Now, with the percentage, eating, your diet is more important than exercise. I think exercise only contributes 20%, and then eating is 80. Yeah, it's the other 80. And so that's something to definitely think about for sure. Like, I can say for me, I'm gonna put myself on blast again. Get used to me putting myself on blast, because I really want our listeners and viewers to really understand that Black and Healthy's goal is to essentially meet you where you are. You don't have to be the healthiest person when you come to a Black and Healthy event, or when you're a part of these conversations. Though you have an idea that you would want to get to, or you may not have no clue where you want to get to. Again, the point of this is to encourage you to start, and to understand that as you're talking about, you notice the change in yourself. The ugly part about it too is you may fall off.
Yeah.
And that is a part of the health and wellness journey. I think it's important, honestly, because one, you have to allow to give yourself grace when you do fall off. You're not perfect. You will never be perfect. I think that a person can have an idea of what perfect is, and you can look at something, you're like, oh, this is perfect, right? But in that, though, you have to be able to give yourself grace when it comes to you as a person, and understand that there's gonna be times that I fall off, but make sure you get back on in a timely manner. Don't wait years. Of course, it might take you a few months, but don't take years. And when you get back on the saddle, take it step by step. Yeah. This is not a race.
Yeah. I actually send out accountability messages every morning to our group, and this morning that was the message that we sent out. I mean, it doesn't matter how many times you have to start or restart, just so long as you start. Yeah, just show up. The hardest part about anything is actually showing up.
Right.
Once you show up, you're halfway there.
Right.
You're halfway there. The other half is just, okay, yeah, we're getting ready to work. Everybody know when you show up with Rebecca, we're getting ready to work.
Right.
We're gonna have some fun doing it.
Right.
And yeah, you may hate me and roll your eyes through it, but I can guarantee you'll thank me for it later down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you that. Have you ever had somebody been like, I'm tired of you sending me these messages. I don't want to do this today.
No, listen. Yeah, I'm gonna put one of my ladies on blast today. Yeah. She starts my class a couple months ago. She starts my class, and she was like, her upper body is weak.
Yeah.
And yeah, your upper body weak. Okay, we need to work those muscles.
Mm-hmm.
So I always put her on war ropes. And she does, Miss Lynette has nicknamed the war rope Felicia. Miss Rebecca, I can't stand Felicia. Okay, well, you and Felicia about to be best friends, because baby, you're gonna be on Felicia because your upper body is weak.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I have. Yeah. She was like, God, why does she keep putting me on? And she's like, yeah, she's put me on blast a couple times. I don't understand why she could put me over there on Felicia.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if your upper body weak, that's the muscles you need to strengthen.
Right.
So
it's just that simple, y'all. Also in this, to be direct and straight up, if that is the issue, you got to do something about it. If you want to make a change,
if you know it's weak,
you got to do something about it. You got to get uncomfortable.
Yes.
And
yes, nobody grows from comfort.
Absolutely
no one grows from comfort.
No.
Yeah.
So you got to get uncomfortable, y'all. And I say that with love. I truly do. I get uncomfortable all the time working out. Honestly, like I haven't been as consistent with working out lately. But guess what? I'm back in here. And we about to get this, and we about to get a little thicker for the winter.
Yes,
I already got that in mind.
And the soreness goes away.
Oh, yeah.
It goes away. The more and more you work those muscles, it goes away. Then you're going to have to start working another muscle.
Right.
Don't do the same exercise. Like I said, I suggest 5 days, like I said. Yeah. But don't do the same type exercise every day. One of those days, you're going to need to rest. Yeah. And I do push yoga. Because yoga is great for stretching.
Love yoga, yeah.
It's great for stretching those muscles. So I do suggest one of those days you stretch. A couple of them days you're gonna need to do some cardio.
Yeah.
To build some endurance. And to work that heart muscle, make that heart muscle strong. But yeah, then some days are you really doing some toning. Because all of that weight that you've lost, you need to tone that up.
Yeah.
So definitely tone some too. So do different things, different days, and make it fun.
Yeah.
Make it fun. Yeah.
I'm glad that you mentioned yoga because for me, yoga helped me to push myself more. When I was in college, I was taking this yoga class, Vinyasa yoga. And the instructor would be like, hold this for a little bit longer, You're like shaking. You in that gym, you be shaking. Yeah. Your muscles like, tap out.
Yeah.
And being in that class, when I would be up like in the wee hours of the night, and when I say wee, I mean like 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Wow. Like crying, like, I just want to go to sleep. How did I get myself into this? And that yoga class, like, I would say, okay, push yourself a little bit more. Go a little bit longer to work on this project that you got to get done. Wow. And so I would also encourage, like, for people to try something different. Like, if it is a workout class, if you're in the upstate, come try out Joannercize. If you're not, just try a workout class because you don't know what you will get out of it.
There's a lot of different type exercise classes out there.
There's so many.
So many, yeah.
And find something that is going to challenge you, make you uncomfortable. You might be in that class and you might just start crying all of a sudden. I've seen that for people because one, they didn't know they could do it. Yeah. Or two, they're going through something. Yeah. And this is the one thing that's like making them feel better. And it's just like a release for you. So again, like, get uncomfortable and push yourself like one little step. Even you don't have to have a partner. Like Rebecca encouraged, to have an accountability partner, but sometimes you got to go alone.
Yeah, you do.
And sometimes
you do.
That's the best journey sometimes, because sometimes if you're not around the right people, they're just going to drag you into the same pattern that you're trying to break, that you're trying to get out of. And by pushing yourself to go by yourself, you're pushing yourself to go in an environment with people you've never met before. That could be a part of your new circle of where you're trying to go in your life, and you can add it to your existing circle. They could actually make a bigger impact for you and your crew. So
that's very true.
Consider that. Think about that. If it's that one class you've been thinking about all year, look up the class schedule and go. Invest that $10 to $20 to take the class at least one time, just to see. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But if you do, think about going again.
And you said something earlier about serotonin and your body releasing serotonin when you exercise. That brings me back to reminds me of this movie, Legally Blonde.
Oh, I love Legally Blonde.
Elle was the lawyer on there.
Yes.
And the fitness instructor was in jail. And she was accused of shooting her husband. And Elle was like, no, that's not possible.
Mm.
People who exercise release different endorphins.
Mm-hmm.
And they're happy hormones.
Yeah.
People who exercise are like naturally happy.
Yeah.
They're naturally happy. So depression and stuff like that. Yeah. When you exercise, you just, it's like depression don't even exist anymore. It's like you just naturally happy.
Yeah.
So that's another reason why to start. Especially if you deal with different things like depression and like right now during the holidays, if you're going through different things during the holidays, start walking. Start walking and just get out there. Yeah, walk it out and just release those different neurotransmitters and get out there and just exercise.
Yes.
So
if you are in the Spartanburg area, the rail trail, as you're talking about, happy people.
They're always happy.
If you've never been on the rail trail, look it up. Go in the mornings, because when the afternoon comes in, people aren't as welcoming or nice, I guess you said. They don't greet you as much. But in that morning, honey, almost every person will say good morning, how you're doing, every time they go by you. You have older people that are on bicycles that are going back and forth. I absolutely love it, and it lifts my spirit so much, because sometimes I'm like, am I in Spartanburg?
Yes.
Like,
they're like naturally happy.
This is great. Yeah, and it's so diverse. It's people from all walks of life, ethnicity, age range, gender. They're all out there on this one trail in Spartanburg. But if you're not in Spartanburg, if you have a trail in your community, that is safe, of course, but try it out. I've definitely walked on the trail when I've been mad. Mad. And next thing you know,
you
I'm
forgot
good
about it. You forgot all about it.
I came up with this new idea. Like, on to the next. So I would definitely encourage that, and of course Rebecca does as well. So do you have anything else to add to the conversation for today?
No, I think we covered just about everything. Yeah, just start. Show up for you, and and don't compare your fitness journey with no one else's. It's always you versus you.
Yes.
I tell the people who work out with me that all the time. Don't compare yourself with no one else. If you achieved a little bit more than you did yesterday, you win.
Yeah.
You win. So look at it like that. Don't compare yourself with no one else. Compare yourself with who you were yesterday.
Yeah.
And then, if you did a little bit more, then you win.
Yeah. And it's easier said than done, people. I know. We have social media. Even just people that are just within your realm. But you got to fight not comparing. It's great to look at people for motivation and inspiration, and you admire them. But that will steal your joy. So try not to do that. And thank you so much, Rebecca, for being here today. If you would, if people want to connect with you, how can they find you on social media?
Well, yes, we are Joannercize Fitness. It's JOANNERCIZE. Joannercize Fitness LLC on we on TikTok. We're on Facebook. I am also Joanne Safe Haven, where we have the fitness classes for our seniors. We do chair fitness for our seniors every Thursday. And we're gonna try to add some line dancing for them as well.
Ooh.
Joanne Safe Haven on Facebook.
Yes. So y'all heard that. Make sure that you support Rebecca and all that she does. She is doing great things in our community. Thank you for being a servant to the people.
Thank you.
And make sure as well that you follow Black and Healthy on our social media platforms, Facebook and Instagram. Make sure that you subscribe to the podcast. as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you would like to be a sponsor of the Black and Healthy podcast, make sure that you email me at blackandhealthy@gmail.com. Thank you again, Rebecca. And I hope this was helpful for you. If you get overwhelmed, that's okay. Just always come back to this video for encouragement. We hope that you could at least take one tip of advice. And please also know that it was all said in love. So, you guys have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
See ya.